Hello, and welcome back to Ars Nouveau. I'm standing in front of what we built last time, which is our cow and animal squisher. It is extremely productive. It's only been running for, honestly, a little over a day at this point. Kind of just started this recording after the last one. Yeah, we got 5,000 beef. I had somewhere around 3,000 white wool, but I gave a bunch of it to Zacharias because he needed some, and lots of other things as well. Additionally, our little crystallizer here has filled up this entire chest. The whole thing. Yeah, right sent it back to storage. So that is working really well. Today, I actually want to get started on something completely different. So as I mentioned before, Ars Nouveau has 3 tiers. So our robes are already the 3rd tier, Archmage. However, our spellbook is not. And that is because it is a little bit of an interesting recipe here. So Nether Star, okay, we need to kill a Wither. Totem of Undying, so we need to run a raid. And a Wilden tribute, obtained by defeating the Wilden Chimera. See Ritual of Summon Wilden. So we're going to work on that today. Ritual Tablet of Summon Wilden. There's a bunch of different recipes you can use. I'm just going to use the one that uses Wilden wings. That is difficult to say. We have a bunch of those. Just they kind of spawn whenever. So we've got one of those. We also, however, need one of each of the other 3 Wilden drops. The wing, horn, and the spike. And we also then need somewhere to do this, because, sorry, I'm not doing this from here at home. I actually do need you, because I also need a ritual brazier. There we go. Okay, let's go find somewhere we can put this. But before we do that, we want to make sure we have the right tools for this. So I'm working on a spell for my bow sitting there, and we're going to go like this. We're going to go with Dispel. I should point out with the bow you don't need to have a form because the form is the arrow. I'm going to start with Dispel. And the reason is I think he has some like buffs and stuff, so we want to take that out as soon as possible. So we're going to start with Dispel, and we're going to go with Explosion. I'm going to go with just 3 amps on this, I think. I also want to dampen because I don't want to actually destroy the terrain. Let's see. Next up, what do we want? I want some harm. Not for harm itself, but if you do harm plus extend time, it is poison, which is useful. And let's go with at least 1 amp. That's now poison 2. That gets us a poison 3. Which I think I want. One thing that'd be useful would be slow fall on him. At least last time I fought him in single player, Explosion ended up knocking him up into the air. And so putting slow fall on him would make that a little bit easier. I'm going to hit create. I put a gap here. I hit create because when I close out, it's going to shift everything over. There we go. So I don't need to worry about that. I can just put it at the end. And let's stick a slow fall on here. Slow fall. There we go. Don't need to name it. The name doesn't really matter. There we go. And one thing I noticed is this has infinity on it, but I noticed it was still actually, I don't have an arrow in my inventory right now, but it still seemed to work. Why is there a red dot over here? There should not be a red dot over here. It's underground. Of course it's underground. I was wanting to actually test this before I, go fight something. I'm thinking I've got a friend down here. Hello there. You mind coming out? I don't want to do this near my animals. Come on out. I need to test if this works. See, the thing is, I know I can fire it like this. And it does make the explosion sound, but I just want to verify that it actually, works and does the thing. Fine, we'll go find a creeper. See a couple things on the map here, so let's walk over here and find something. Okie dokie, we've got a couple creepers over here. Hello there. Perfect. And again, I don't have any arrows in my inventory. Is that enough to kill you? No. Half heart. Okay, half heart. Leaves me with that. That works for me. The idea is I'm going to be casting quite a lot. I can actually kill those dogs in 1 hit. That would be very useful if we can. The reason for that is the Chimera will end up spawning some of these guys. So if I can kill those in 1 shot, that will make things much easier. Looks like the answer's no on that. Okay, well, let's go find a place to kill him. And the next tool I need is a buff. So I've got Self Dispel, because again, I want to take off any negative effects I get. Heal with 2 amplifiers, which I think does 4 hearts of health. I can't remember. Shield, which will hopefully help me take less damage, and 2 things of speed. So this will be a speed 3, actually, I guess. Let's create that, and let's give that a try. So now we can run pretty quickly. I do wish I had a Britannia World Trotter sash, or whatever it's called. Which one is it? Just the first one, Sojourner Sash. Really useful, and then I can walk up single block height, but I think we should be good with just this. Well, we found an area down here. This is Bailey's base, this is my base, Zachris is over here, and I think this little plains area should work out. I just slept, so it's early morning, so it should be good. Let's go ahead and start. So we take our tablet, toss it in, and then drop each of those in. So it augments it, and if you augment it with all 3, you get this guy. So let's give it a shot. Now, last time I fought this was actually before we had the ritual implemented, so I don't have any idea how long this is going to take. And there he is. So, this is the Chimera. And as you can see, he starts summoning these extra dogs, which is a little difficult, but that's okay. Let's and you'll notice that he is taking poison damage, and you may be thinking, oh, this is easy, you know, I got down to 3/4 health. Yeah, there's 4 stages to this guy. So, let's do this. And let's get our health going here. So the slow fall is definitely a big help. Gives me a little bit more time before he lands. Did I just take a potion? I did not take a potion. Wait. Mana regen should be very useful here. So this first stage is built around. The next stage, however, I honestly don't know what he'll do. He has multiple stages, and it's actually random which order he gets them in. There you go. Get away. Yeah, so see you at the next stage. Okay. And you'll notice that he is regenerating, and he will gain a new ability. And great. Horns. Yeah, you saw there he quickly sprinted at us. That's why I wanted a bow to do all of this, because yeah, I don't want to deal with that. This is working quite well though. And let's get our shield back. Here again. Basically, the thing is you want to keep this guy away from you the whole time. If you don't have level 3 armor with lots of protection, he hits like a truck. Which I mean, you can kind of see. One of the other stages where he gets wings is probably one of the more difficult ones, because then he'll fly up in the air like that and swoop at you. And he's gotten me before, single shot. I think I didn't have protection on my armor at least, but yeah. And of course he gets the wings next. Is that what you got? Yep, oh. Yeah, keeping your mana up is very important. Don't launch me away. Yeah. And you'll notice that it did just destroy the land. That's always fun. For some reason, it was not charging my bow there. Alright, well, I'm gonna keep doing this for a while. He just died. Did I get the thing? I didn't, and he also didn't do all of the levels. Okay. Okay, I'm going to walk around at F3B just to make sure that I get all the things on the ground here. I think because I got him between stages with an explosion, that something didn't work properly there. Which is annoying because I'm going to have to do that whole thing again. Yeah, I didn't get the item I was looking for, the Wilden Tribute. And he also didn't have the spike stage. So normally there's the wings, there's the horns, and then there's spikes. Well, in no particular order. But... nope, you are Flint. He didn't do the spikes, and so I think it kind of ended early, which is a little difficult. So I'm going to have to go get some more of all of the Wilden drops, and we will come right back here. Unless this is it. Oops, that's XP. Well, let's try that again. Toss you. 1, 2, and 3. And here goes. Alright, just finish this second stage with the wings, which is a little annoying. There we go, there's the spikes. Oop. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. We're gonna just kind of hang out back here. You done with that? Can you get one more? Hey, there we go. Cool. Let's heal up. Let's heal a little bit. And let me check. I might have... I didn't pack it. I had an enchanter's shield somewhere, and I can't remember where I put it. I think it's back at my base, which is not the best place for it. Let's get you back to a heal spell. And you're just kind of hanging out. Cool. Yeah, he keeps doing that little like jump dive thing, which takes a ton of health. Did that work? Okay, so I guess he only has 3 stages, not 4. So he doesn't always have all 3. Okay, good. That time he actually dropped the tribute. Yeah, sword with ton of harm and amplify. Definitely a good thing here. Let's take you out as well. Thank you. And I think there was a couple dogs around here, wasn't there? Maybe they despawned. Okay, cool. Well, we got one of the 3 difficult items. So let's go get the others. Alright, and for the Wither, everyone's seen the Wither fight. So we're just going to go to the end. He set up a little room there, drops us straight into the portal. And so we're just going to go over here. I think someone already set it up in here, so not a big deal. I did make a special spell for this occasion, though. And that is, we're going to kill him with kindness. We have some heal and a whole bunch of amplify. Yeah, turns out undead don't like being healed. And here's Mr. Wither. Let's heal ourselves. That's probably a good thing. We'll just take the This works. Next item we need is a Totem of Undying, which is pretty... I mean, we can... I think a bunch of people actually have them for sale. Ah, I forgot to reset my spawn. Right. Let's head back home, which is this direction. Yeah, I think we could just get some totems from the people, but I want to actually do a raid. I need a bunch of those anyway, as well as some emeralds, so yeah, we'll do that. How far do we need to go? This direction. Okay, see you home. So last night I got a screenshot that someone sent me from the server here, and as you can see on the map, you can kind of get an idea of what the issue is. There seem to be animals everywhere. Now, I legitimately don't know at this point if this is like a prank from someone, which, okay, cool, well played, or if this is like an actual legitimate problem that I need to figure out. I'm not entirely sure how they could get out, and the fact that it's like every animal kind of is leaning towards it being a prank. So I killed everything in here. There's no... Okay. There's currently nothing escaping up here. So I think as long as I can make sure that nothing else is walking into here, I'll keep monitoring this, because it had run for a day or so without an issue. We did, however, update the server last night. New version of Ars Nouveau. So, you know, we'll keep an eye on this. Maybe it's just like a one-time thing with that update. Maybe it is a prank someone did, or maybe it is that animals are actually getting out. Now, one thing is I do want to keep some of the sheep out here. I'm going to start a wool farm at some point, so I want some of those outside. It'll probably be easier to start with that. Okay, looks like some things have been busy here. That's cool too, I guess. Bye-bye, chicken. And before we get back to the raid thing, I did want to address one thing that I made, which is I've got this carbuncle here who currently is not doing his job. He's bringing stuff from over there to over here to this little drop-off chest. I'm not happy with this setup yet. There was an issue with carbuncles. I wanted it in the wall. Actually, I wanted him to run in, but since I had path blocks here, he wouldn't go in. So I'm trying to figure out a system. I want him to drop stuff off here and then have the guys inside start carrying stuff back and forth. So this guy, he's doing his job. He brought things over here. We've got storage starting to get filled. I guess just 4,000 leather. But the carbuncle over on this side is not. That's from Zachris. Carbuncle over here. You're right here. Why are you not dropping off your item? Okay. Well, like I said, I was kind of playing around with that anyway, so I'll figure out a better system for that. Okay, and the last thing is we have this farmer here. Now, do you have a... Okay, you do have a composter under you. So this guy here we captured a while ago. He was a zombie villager. Or zombie villager, I have to emphasize that word. We cured him, so he likes us. That's cool. I hadn't been giving him a job for a long time. However, I did have to the other day. Bailey paid me a visit, and he's like, "Hey, good news! I freed your prisoner." Yeah, so we got him back, and then I decided just to level him up into a farmer. But we actually need that anyway, and that is because for a raid, you need to have a village, and a villager on his own is not a village. A village with a workstation, however, is a village. So here's our village. At some point I do want additional villagers, however I don't have any yet. So we're going to have to find some later, but for right now I'm not too concerned with that. You're kind of a throwaway chest. Okay, so yeah, still have problems with inventory, but that's okay, we can solve that. And I think I got all but a couple sheep and some cows. I realized I want some cows as well for milk later, if I decide to do anything with like cake or whatever. So we got them, but sheep, we'll gather you guys all together later. For now, I'm just going to let you kind of stay there. You may or may not survive the raid. So let's head over to our friendly neighborhood pillager outpost. Alright, so we've got a contestant right here. Perfect. Have Bad Omen, at least Bad Omen 1. Wow, there's a lot of you. Let's see if we can get another one. Okay, Bad Omen 2. Any more captains around? Let's get our heal spell going. I don't see any more captains, so we'll just go with level 2. Should be fine. I think I don't actually need any higher level than 1 anyway, but we'll see. Let's head back home. And you know what? I need to not do that. Heal spell. Heal spell has Dispel on it. Let's drop that. Yeah, we just dispelled our own thing. Yeah, cool. Okay, so let's see if we can find another. Alrighty, there we go. Finally got Bad Omen, and let's not dispel it this time. And let's head home. Now, I believe pretty much as soon as we get there, it's probably going to start a raid. Hopefully not before, because it means I set a raid at someone else's base. But there should be. Villager is down there in that box. And raid. There we go. Okay, and the first raiders are coming from, looks like behind... Why are there more sheep? Shouldn't be sheep here. Okay, raider. There you are. One thing also is that during this raid, at the last stage, I want to capture at least one pillager. These guys drop emeralds if they're part of a raid. So I'll technically lose the raid, but I'm thinking that'll be beneficial here. As long as you don't die. I don't want you to die. Yeah, so if we can get these guys to give us emeralds, that means I can get a Drigme to watch them. And that will get me infinite emeralds. So that will be helpful. But we'll see. We'll get there at the last raid, because I need at least one totem of undying from these guys. Also, why have I not gotten any emeralds yet? Okay, well, we'll see. And I actually remember to grab my shield this time. Which... Thank you. Oh, still not one shot. So the shield, if you block with it, will give a mana regen and mana damage bonus, which can be helpful, especially because this sword does magic damage. Next raid. This is level 3. Over here. Good. It's a good spot. Let's get our heal spell going so we can run. And... don't see any... oh, there's a villager. Let's deal with that. One shot. Come on. There we go. There we go. Oh, still not one shot, guys. Right, and the witch there, this is my Wixie collector, so that actually killed it pretty quickly. Cool. Heal you. Still no totem, but I did get a Ravager hide, so that's cool. I think this next one should get us some evokers. Okay, 2 raiders remaining. 1. Where is the last one? Okay, so there's still another raid. Okay, good, because there was no evoker there. Alright, let's hope this next one has it. There we go, just got one. Vex, I'm not too concerned about you can go away. But I don't want you guys to be hurting my villager. Stay away from him. Okay, where's the rest of you? I'm hoping there's at least... well, maybe what I'll do is I'll collect pillagers and evoke a later for a good chance to actually help me set up. I don't really have a good way of dealing with them. Let's keep ourselves alive. No? Apparently my shield is not working. Go away, Vex. Will Vex eventually die on their own? I can't remember. I feel like they will. If not, I can deal with it. Okay. And there's one more villager over here. Hello there. Okay, we've got 1 totem so far, so I'm happy with that. Villager's still happy. Good. Okay. I think that's the last round. And I need to be careful to not accidentally step in that room, because that will make this difficult. Okay, over here. 1, and where are you? Are you the one? Over here. How'd you get over here? What are you doing over here? This is not the right spot for you. Okay, villager's still happy. I should have closed him in all the way. Oh well, we will get there. Vex. Go away. No, trample on my crops. Don't trample my crops. That's not nice. Well, that's annoying. Let's get back up here. Okay. Let's heal ourselves. Keep an eye on my health here. Why is there a skeleton? You're not in this party. Okay, raiders, where are you? They apparently really like right here. Okay, gonna hit me. Thank you. Did I get you? I did. I can't pick you up. No. Go away, Vex. I thought I killed you. Okay, I don't need meat seeds. Don't need you or you. Still don't need wheat. Go away. Okay, cool. We got victory. That's cool. I'll capture a pillager later for a Drigme, but right now I don't even have a spot for him, so that is fine. I do want more of these though. Take you. I want a head. Sticks. Okay. Is that everything? There's one more Vex up there. I think he eventually dies. Right? Do they take damage? I'm pretty sure they take damage after a while. Either way, there we go. Cool. Finish the raid. We now have Totem of Undying. We've got the other two items up in there in storage. And we can finally make our tier 3 book. Okay, so we have our totem, we have our tribute, we have our star. We need 3 ender pearls and 2 diamond, or 3 ender pearls and 2 emeralds, which we have some. I didn't actually get any from the raid, which is a little weird. But I actually don't have looting on my sword, so that could be it. Can I use this, please? Thank you. You Archmage spellbook. Awesome. So with this, we now gain access to some spells that I already unlocked from Zacharias. He'd given me a bunch, such as Lightning, Wither, that sort of fun stuff. But I am actually more concerned, or more interested in Blink. So if we go here, place, let's grab, I want self blink, sure. So this spell can be used in several different ways. Self blink will send me straight through walls. Kind of cool. Can you go down? Won't go down. Okay, cool. But useful for some things, I guess. On its own, not so much. So what else can we do with it? Next up, projectile. So projectile blink is wherever it lands is where you go. Now you can modify this. Do I have accelerate? Get a bunch of accelerate here and then a blink, which will make the projectile faster. One thing I have noticed with that one is it doesn't quite, when I fire the projectile, it goes off to the side, but it still ends up sending me where I want. So if I go right here on the, yeah, see I still ended up here with the mushroom, even though it looked like the spell projectile went to the side. So good to know is that it'll still send you where you want, but it just looks a little confusing. Even so, not what I'm interested in. What I want is Rune Blink. Now again, on its own, basically like a self, but what you can do is you can make it permanent, which is what I have over here. Now this one, I had gotten this by just casting a regular rune on the ground, or no, I used the spell chalk. If we go in here, chalk. The runic chalk, you can place things on the ground, which makes a permanent rune, which will then use mana or use source instead of player mana. These, however, if I place them, it's one-time use, disappeared. Whereas if it's permanent, it'll continue staying here. And by having this a tier 3 book, now I can make these wherever I want. I don't have to have it bound to just right here, and hopefully I don't step on it or break it. Stepping on it would warp me, is why I don't want to go there. Which currently will send me to my witch hut. But now we can actually place it wherever we'd like. One of my plans is I want to have a warp room. So I'll have a room somewhere with a big wall of buttons with an automated system to be able to just press a button to go wherever I like. Instead of current method, which is just kind of sort through these and hope that it's named nicely, and then you can teleport to wherever you want. Yeah, I'll put it in an actual building, actual build around it. That'll be fun. Something I've been wanting for a while. Don't want that light there. I want it down there. So, quite happy with that. It also gives us, let's see, what else do we have that's tier 3? Toss is a cool item that's a tier 1, I think, though. Hex is tier 3, Snare is tier 3. Do I have Fangs now? Vex. Oh yeah, I can summon Vex. That's a cool thing. Yep, cancel. I don't want to mess with that spell. That's my light spell. Let's go in here. I want to summon a Vex. Cool, we have some Vexes. On its own, these are actually kind of annoying and kind of dangerous. If something were to hit me, then they kind of just go off on a go killing everything. Including, for instance, my villager over there, these bees, even my animals up there, since they can just fly through stuff. But it is useful for fighting the Wither, because these guys, when they die, will drop Wither Roses. So, all in all, lots of cool things, as well as by having a tier 3 book, it gives me additional mana and mana regen, which, again, always helpful. One minor thing over here, this is probably in the background of a clip they saw earlier, may have had some questions what it is. This is a real quick and dirty method of getting cobbled deep slate. So the problem is, so we get this deep slate from Quark. So normal, it's in vanilla 1.17, but since we're in 1.16, Quark adds it, because why not? However, generally I don't go mining without Silk Touch, just because when I get ores and stuff, I want to bring them back here to send through Fortune 8. Yeah, so I would get everything with Silk. And unfortunately, you can't use this to make these nice bricks. You have to use the cobbled stuff for that. So what this machine is, and if I remove this, it should show us. Real simple system. Not nice in the frame rate, but that's okay. Dispensers back there. Quark will allow dispensers to place items. And then here I have pistons with an iron rod. And again, Quark, which is breaks items real quick and easy. Just a simple hopper clock over here. One item goes back and forth, turning on and off these two torches, which basically just alternates the dispensers, the piston, dispenser, piston, over and over. Things fall into a hopper and into the chest. Pretty handy. Let's get our redstone back, because that was a little annoying. There we go. And then the turn on and off, basically I'm just going to have it so that when I put items in here, I'm just doing it manually anyway. I'll put a little bit more in this dispenser, so this will go one, this will be the last one that goes, so I don't get one stuck in here. And the comparator, of course, reads that to turn off the hopper clock. So pretty simple, really messy circuit. This is not permanent, this is going to be taken out, honestly, probably by the end of this episode, because I do want to get to work on building. So I think today has been pretty successful. We've managed to get ourselves our tier 3 book, the Archmage Spellbook, which is going to open up a whole lot of possibilities for automation, as well as just general getting things around. Glide here, for instance, we can now have Elytra without having Elytra. It gives you an Elytra status effect. There's lots of cool things with this, as well as, like I said, increased mana storage. That is going to be a big thing, because that will mean that we'll just be able to do a lot more, a lot faster. I've started working on some more stuff, like clearing an area underneath here. Just general base expansion stuff. I've got a lot planned still. Like I said, we have 3 mods here as our main content. We have Ars Nouveau, which is what I've been sort of focusing on. We also have Botania, and we have Create. So I want to get started on both of those. Create, because that's the only way I can process things, and Botania because, well, it's Botania, and I like the corporea and everything about it. So I think, though, we've gotten, like I said, we got a lot done, and I'm quite happy with this. Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.